All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? How is it going? I am no one, and I'm taking a break from creating another video to release another video. This just came across. This got posted on Discord, and I fired up the record button right away because we need to talk about this. So where we pick up the story, for those of you guys that didn't see this, but about 10 days ago, Intrepid announced that Phase 3 is going to get delayed until August. They have some things that they need to work on. This is stuff that I've already talked about before. They need to implement and test dynamic gridding. They need to get a new starting area, the anvils before Phase 3, ongoing server worker and realm performance improvements, helping us lay a stronger foundation for scalability, transition to Unreal Engine 5.5, tools, performance, development, flexibility. I hope you guys are seeing performance improvements, dynamic gridding, which is also performance, significant economy and stat balancing efforts over the next 3 months in preparation for a solid Phase 3 start, the introduction of Pyre, Renkai, and Nakuan races. So this is the stuff they want to work on until August 4th. 3 different bullet points all talk about server stability and improvements. And so one of the questions that's been asked is, I know some people were asking on the forums and on Discord, what's going to happen with the EU server? Is the EU server going to have to go over to Shol? Shol is going to be the new Fresh Start server, and Intrepid said they were going to discuss it. They were going to get back to us, and they have since then updated this article. And so we're going to go in here and we're going to look at the new updates and we're going to talk about it. So merge fresh. So it says merge, comma, fresh start, comma, and wipe notice. New challenge awaits. We already read that. So on April 30th, which is in 2 days, we will merge the Vyra and Lyneth realms into a single realm named Resna US East. Letharia will not be merged. During this test, Resna will be the only realm available. This critical test will validate our realm merge process, and we encourage all testers to fully participate to help us assess system performance and stability. As part of the merge, certain systems, including nodes, mayorships, freeholds, vehicles, cargoes, and other realm-based systems, will be reset. However, key player progress will be preserved. Character levels, experience, skill trees, artisan progression, and inventory will carry over. Warehouse items will remain available once the respective nodes reach level 1. And items held in citizenship warehouses can be accessed again if the player regains citizenship in that node. Additionally, the Resna realm character slot limit will increase to 10, and in cases of name conflicts, character names will be adjusted with suffixes such as VYR or LYN. So this is everything we heard before. They're going to merge Vyra and Lyneth into one server named Resna. And if you had copying names, this is how you're going to be able to recognize each other. And it was kind of cool. But there was also going to be a fresh start server. And a discussion my guild had last week was discussing whether or not we were going to stay on the old server with all of our stuff or go to the new server. And pretty much unanimously, our guild decided that we were going to go to the new server because when new servers come online, they have a tendency to kill old servers anyways. If everybody's over on one side, if you want to play with people, you're going to go over to that side anyways. And so if you're going to merge everything, and this was the question that I had, if you were going to merge Vyra and Lyneth and you were going to restart the node levels and you're going to restart the progression that everybody worked towards, well, yeah, you're going to have level 25 characters, you're going to have level 25 gear and all that, but you're going to have to grind XP in order to level up your node. You're going to have to go out and collect resources in order to get these journeyman bench stations. And we had a long discussion in our guild, once again, about how quickly an older server would do that, because if there's less people on that server and you like that because you have higher level resources, you have gold, you already have stuff, and you don't want to grind up another character for 3 months just to delete it anyways, and you want to stay on your old character you're already working on, well, how much progress are you going to have when almost nobody's on that server and nobody really wants to go back to the beginning stages of a node and work on things? And so I just had a lot of questions as to how this was going to function and how this was going to work. And that's why we all decided, most of us decided, that we're going to go to the fresh start, because everybody's going to be leveling. That naturally progresses your node. Everybody's going to be at the same starting point. It's basically like a season. It's a mini season, essentially. And so that's how we were approaching it. I was actually getting pretty excited for it. And then they announced this, May 1st. So this is April 30th. They're going to merge those two servers. And then May 1st, transition to realm stress testing. Beginning May 1st, we will shift to focused realm stress testing for the remainder of Phase 2. A fresh start realm, Shol, US East, will become available for all testers, with access expected to open around 10 a.m. Pacific time. Shol will follow our normal 5-day testing schedule. With this transition, Resna and Letharia will be permanently taken offline to concentrate efforts on stress testing Shol and all users will need to create new characters. While additional realms may be added later if needed, there are currently no plans to bring others online during this period. So the summation is Vyra and Lyneth is getting merged into Resna on April 30th. So then what will exist is Resna and Letharia. The next day, on May 1st, they are going to get rid of Resna and Letharia, and everybody that wants to play Ashes of Creation will be going to Shol. That means everybody that was on Lyneth, everybody that was on Vyra, everybody that was on Letharia on the EU server will all be going to Shol starting May 1st, which is pretty exciting for a few different reasons. Number one, this is what I was excited about to begin with. They had announced that this is what was going to happen during the beginning of Phase 2. They said there was going to be one server, and the idea of everybody packed, the conflict, the politics of everybody stacked on one server is great. Also, there are a lot of people that like to engage in Discord shit talking and Discord PvP, and I just don't understand. Like you can Discord PvP and that's fine, like if that's what you guys want to do, but now we get to actually have like real PvP. And so these different guilds that are talking about how certain guilds got to duck each other because they left to go to like Lyneth or they left to go to Vyra, and you know, certain guilds are ducking pirates and everybody's afraid of the EU guilds and everybody's afraid of this guild, and you know, whatever nonsense is being spoken on any given day. Now there's no real PvP like that anymore because the PvP is going to exist in game. So like all these guilds that want to flex their EPs in Discord and on the forums and stuff get to actually flex their EPs in game. And so I'm very excited for this now. I'm very excited for this to happen. Obviously, like leveling up a new character is whatever, you know, I mean, I've done it a few times now. It is what it is. But the bigger thing, and the bigger thing that I'm excited about is figuring out, helping by existing, them stress testing this server. Because I've talked about it quite a bit. I am a PvPer at heart. The current state of PvP on Ashes of Creation is not very fun. It's just not. And I need to be clear for my audience that watches this. It's not in a good spot. What happens is in order to save their server stability, when you get a lot more people in one area, they narrow down the render distance quite a bit. And so what happens is, you know, if you're in an 8v8, you can see people maybe 50 to 75 meters away, right? But if that becomes an 80v80, you got to get within 10, 15, 20 meters. And so what happens in large scale PvP or even larger scale PvP, if you are a group trying to fight people, you don't really know what you're encountering until you're right on top of each other. And that becomes really problematic for most guilds that aren't the largest guilds in the game. The largest guilds in the game, they don't care. Like, they're the biggest guild. It gives them a huge advantage. Basically, like, if you think about it, they're basically all functioning like rogues. Like, you don't see them until they're on top of you. And then when a Zerg is on top of you, it's over, right? Like, you just die. And so any guild smaller than some of the largest guilds in the game right now, you know, there's no flanking, there's no maneuvering, there's no, hey, let's go around and hit them on their left side, guys, because where the fuck is the left side? Right? Like you think you're going to the left side, you think that's the flank, and then you jump right into the middle of them. And you don't know because of the render distance. And so a lot of the PvP right now is just in a rough spot. It's not fun to play. This applies to node sieges, it applies to node wars, it applies to even some guild wars, depending on who you're trying to fight and how many people they call in to help. Like it can be very, very problematic to deal with. And until that gets fixed, I have quite a few friends that are also PvPers and they're interested in Ashes of Creation. But until that gets fixed, I'm telling all of my friends to not buy into the Alpha 2. They like the idea of the game, they like everything, but they want to play something a little bit more polished. And currently, Alpha 2 is not that. You know, it is an alpha. They're working on some things, and currently they're working on the server stability. And so one of my biggest things is, you know, when people are complaining about, you know, no character creator and the grass isn't wavy and stuff like that, it's like, bro, like, you're missing the forest among the trees here. Like we have server stability issues in a large scale setting, and where like the big things that they want to have accomplished don't function, and you're worried about blades of grass. Like that's what we're worried about right now. There's bigger issues at the moment. And so this is huge. I think this is huge for a variety of reasons. Obviously the politics, obviously all that will be fun, but really putting a bunch of people on a server will stress test that server, obviously. Like, that's how you find these issues. That's how you go about attempting to fix these issues. Will this not be fun sometimes? Absolutely. Will I be frustrated sometimes? Absolutely. But if you look at this right now, and this is something I said to my guild, when we started phase 2, we had the 5 Riverland nodes, and then we also had the 3 in the desert. Obviously, the POIs weren't fully fleshed out in the desert, but we had about 8 total nodes. Now, currently, when we go into this new one, we will have the 5 Riverland nodes. We will have the 5 desert nodes. I'm pretty sure we're going to have the 5 tropics nodes. We have 3 now, if I remember correctly, and I think we're getting 2 more at the start of May 1st. So that's 15 nodes instead of the 8 that we had before. And then on top of that, the Jundark should be coming fully online. Like, we just got its first iteration this last week. As you guys know, you guys that have been on the server, they slowly incorporate these things over time. We should be getting the nodes for that online probably within the next month or so. And so that's pretty cool. And so you go from phase 2 with, 6,000, 5,000, 6,000 players on 8 nodes. And now we're going to have the same type of thing, 5,000, 6,000 players spread out on 15 nodes. And so, yes, it is going to be a packed server, but people will be spread out more among nodes. And so we're going to see people expand into the tropics. We're going to see people expand into the desert, that place that doesn't exist. And player dynamics are going to shine through. There will not be people choosing to stay on a dead server. People will be playing together regardless. And so this is huge. I think this is really important. I'm really looking forward to them figuring this out. I'm more than happy to get this figured out because I want to play this as a PvP game. That's what I want to do. And in my opinion, in the current state of it, it doesn't function very well as a PvP game. And I really like the fact that they're just saying, okay, we're going to figure this shit out. This is literally a sprint for 3 months to figure out dynamic gridding and all the other server issues that they have. So it's both. So yeah, I'm going to end this video here. If you guys have any questions or comments, I'm sure there will be a lot of comments about this video, about this happening in the comment section below. I know some people don't like the idea of playing with exploiters and some people want another server and whatnot. And honestly, we all want this game to come out as quickly as possible. Some of us want it to come out yesterday. And I think if we keep in mind that this is the type of test that they need to do in order to get those sorts of things up and running later on, we should be willing, I think as a community, we need to understand this, okay, this is good for the game long term. This is good for the alpha long term. This is really good for phase 3 if they can get everything done before August, and phase 3 will be the thing that we're hoping it's going to be. Now I'm going to end this video here. Thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.